Some folks tend to, as we're focusing on taxes and cost of debt and preservation of wealth, tend to also think that we're going to still focus in on tracking their every coffee spend.
It keeps coming back around to that. It really will, but we're not going to, and please don't add up my coffee spending.
Welcome to today's SWA Take 5. I'm Tendai, this is Jeff, and today we're talking about budgeting and what our role is here at SWA when it comes to clients and budgeting. So Jeff, when clients hear the term comprehensive financial planning, they get focused on line item budgeting and thinking that we're going to judge their spending habits. What do we do?
Well, we don't do that, and that is a great question, and unfortunately is a common misperception. When it comes to cash planning, we want to make sure that we are focused on some detail, but we're going to do this around major events like buying real estate or transitioning into retirement. And the detail that we're going to go to is really focused on how much cash is needed, when is the cash needed, and where are we going to take it from?
That's excellent planning there. And so when we're helping with the cash planning, what are we really trying to help accomplish for clients?
Yeah, we really want to focus on keeping the big picture in view. Let's make sure long-term plans are sustainable. So in the short term, we'll focus on cash flows for amount, source, and timing. We also want to make sure that there's a healthy cash reserve in place. That's going to help with the day-to-day spend, but it's also going to help satisfy that sleep at night feeling to make sure that clients have enough cushion and buffer to reduce stress, and it keeps their longer-term plan intact.
That's excellent. Always looking for stress-free living. But when some people hear cash flows and cash buffers, they still worry that we're going to ask for detailed spending records. Are we going to do that?
We're probably still not going to do it, Tendai. So we want to calm those fears, and our approach to cash flow planning is much higher level. We are not budget cops. So we're not going through a detailed line item budget of every dollar, every category, every month. We want to see that people are aligning their spending and giving with what they value, but we're not pouring over every single detail, trying to judge someone about how much they spend on travel and hobbies and dining out, or the things that just bring them joy and meaning.
Sure. Well, thank goodness we aren't budget cops. And we do know there's a couple areas that here at SWA we tend to have strong opinions about. What would those be?
Yeah, there are exceptions to every rule. So when I say we don't focus on line items, there are two that we will pluck out. So the first is taxes. And taxes are just a very fast way to erode wealth if you're overpaying them. We want to make sure that we're working with clients and their CPAs to implement tax efficient strategies. No one really wants to pay more in taxes than they absolutely have to. The second is interest on debt. So there are cases where it makes sense to borrow money, whether it's a big purchase or you're trying to bridge cash flows, but let's do this in a cost-efficient way. So we're going to focus in on interest costs and the structure of debt just to make sure that that cost is not more than it needs to be.
So these are two great strategies to help preserve wealth. Also, some folks tend to, as we're focusing on taxes and cost of debt, and preservation of wealth, tend to also think that we're going to still focus in on tracking their every coffee spend.
It keeps coming back around to that. It really will, but we're not going to, and please don't add up my coffee spending. We're going to focus on the big levers. Cash reserves, in terms of cash flow, it's going to be amount, source, and timing. On the outflow side, yes, taxes and debt, but we're not going much further into the weeds. When it comes to our clients' spending, we know that it matches their values, and we're not here to judge those. We're here to provide clarity and confidence around a spending plan, not about control or judgment.
That's great. Jeff, always great perspective, and you do a great job of simplifying the complex. And so if you have any additional questions, please reach out to myself or Jeff or anybody else here at the Saline Wealth Advisors team. Until next time.